stealing, sir. That is chair stealing. Ah, good boy. Not for the chair stealing, though. Deadpool movie. I wanted to do a Deadpool movie review really quick because I saw the movie and I wanted to talk about it a bit, briefly. The second Deadpool movie, Deadpool 2, it is not as well directed as the first one. It is much more convoluted and a lot of elements don't gel well. It was less of a surprise. It's very hard to catch lightning in a bottle, and I think this movie demonstrates that. That said, none of that matters, and that's what's kind of cool about this film. The Deadpool movies, there's 2 of them now, and inevitably, I think there's going to be at least 2 more. I heard, what's his name, Josh Brolin, the guy who plays Cable, I heard a rumor like he's signed up for like 4 of these, so at least 3 more, and I could see it. The thing about the Deadpool movies are that they are essentially a vehicle for Ryan Reynolds to basically perform a specific kind of comedy. And for everyone else in the entire world to act as his foil. And that's this movie. That's Deadpool 2. That's Deadpool 1. I mean, in Deadpool 1, the story is simpler, but there's not much to it. It's, bad guy gets girl, get girl back. And there's a bit of personal drama from, am I hideous now? And so on and so forth. This one's much more complicated. Kid's in danger from a anti-hero, save kid before he gets killed, but there's other, complications. Really, neither of these movies are terribly complicated, but this one really got complicated in a hurry. But once again, it's not to the detriment. It's like, oh, this is really kind of messy and complicated, overcomplicated even. But that doesn't matter. That's not what I'm going to see this movie for. I'm going to see it to see Ryan Reynolds, who's, yes, Knightley. Ryan Reynolds, who's clearly the vision here. I mean, he's the soul of this film. And very much so. He seems very passionate about this character. I'm guessing he loves this character and loves playing this character. Like, this is the perfect fit for him, for actor and character, and he's just hamming it up and he's absolutely loving it. Clearly. So he's the opposite of phoning it in. And that's awesome to see. It's awesome to see the weird situations and fourth wall breaking humor and the filthiness of the language and situations sometimes. I mean, it's awesome. The first one I loved because it was an R-rated film. It was a very R-rated film. And the reason, from what I understand, I forget his name, the head of Fox at the time, was kept putting up barriers to a Deadpool movies because he didn't think an R-rated, a hard R superhero movie could do well. And Deadpool proved him incredibly wrong. And this one, once again, it's like, there's a lot of problems in this movie. None of them matter. And that's what's kind of slick about the film, is this is a very fun movie. That goes a long way. It's a very funny movie. To the point I'd say this is actually a comedy that happens to be a superhero film. Not a superhero film that has funny elements in it like a lot of the Marvel universe, a lot of the Marvel cinematic MCU movies. This is a full-blown comedy in superhero form. More akin to, actually very akin to Kick-Ass. And there are some actual dark places it goes to. It's actually very serious in places, much more so than the first film. So like I said, it's more complicated than the first one, overcomplicated in places, but it doesn't really, this is so odd. The film doesn't benefit, nor is there any detriment from the problems and complexity of this film. That's weird. It's just a strange film in that respect. There are 2 cats in this house, and they're both shedding because it's summer, and it's like there's a cloud surrounding me. As far as what are the odds you'll see this movie and not like it, Once again, this was a really good one. God, it's... If you're a big fan of Deadpool, you're going to love this film because Deadpool is Deadpool. It's not as well directed, but no one's going to care, and that doesn't really detract from the film. God, really low. I'd say the odds you'll see it and not like it, less than 1 in 5, easily. I mean, that you'll really not like it, God, it's going to be low. I mean, at 1 in 5 at most. The only thing I can think is, in places, the jokes or the setup doesn't land well, and it gets a little annoying. But that's it. I had a friend who once said about The Simpsons, like he's trying to describe The Simpsons to someone. This was way back in the day when that was a thing you would do, when it wasn't ubiquitous. He said, it's like this. It's like, here's a joke, here's a joke, here's another joke, here's another joke. Yeah, that joke wasn't very good, but who cares? Here comes 3 more. This is kind of the same way. There's nonstop humor. It's not a hyperbole. It really never stops. It never stops having one joke after another come at you, or the situation itself is amusing or weird or peculiar in such a way that's funny. And the plot and the characterization is just a delivery mechanism for it. It's good. It's not great. But the film, but that's not why you're seeing this, and that's not why you'll enjoy it. So, God, 1 in 5 now. It'll be like 1 in 8. Like 1 in 8 people is going to get annoyed at some of the humor, or, you know, if you didn't know this was going to be an off-color film, I guess. But how in the hell did you not know that? Anyway, so, you know, 1 in 8 people will see this and maybe not like it. Like maybe have some problem with it where it annoyed them enough. As far as would I see it again, yes, I'm actually hoping to see it. What is today? Wednesday. Tomorrow, I'm going to see it again. It's one of those films I would like to see again simply because there's so much going on. This is a very rewatchable film. There's so much going on. You almost certainly missed something, or you were laughing at something and didn't hear another joke that came right in after it. I mean, really, that's the only complaint about this, is the pacing and the structure's kind of a mess in places. Not all the jokes land, and that's it. It doesn't take time to breathe, and there are worse problems for a film like this to have.